It's a non-conference showdown as the Hornets of the University of Lynchburg welcome the Denison Big Red as both teams look to bolster their non-conference resume and make another deep push for the NCAA tournament. Hello and welcome into the Hill City here in Lynchburg, Virginia. I'm Joe Brennan on behalf of LHSN and FloSports. It's a Lynchburg team that comes in roaring hot, 3-0. After a 15-11 win over St. Mary's, 24-7 over Pfeiffer, but a 14-11 win at Salisbury, the highlight of Lynchburg's schedule so far this year through their opening set of games as they start the season off with a gauntlet, another ranked opponent with a Denison team receiving votes in the national poll, a squad that started the year in the top 20. But they've also had a tough get out of the gate, starting the season off against RIT, W&L, and other premier programs. With that, they come in today with a record of 2-3 after a get-right game, winning 23-4 over Adrian College. But these are two Goliaths in the national stage, so obviously they're coming in hunting for a signature win on the road. The Lynchburg offense has been extraordinary this season. One of the top offenses in the nation coming into today, ranking in the top 10 for scoring offense this year with 17.5 goals scored per contest. A big reason why has been the senior attackman in Riley Hastings. Hastings has been unbelievable for this squad already as he has surpassed the 200-point mark in his Lynchburg tenure with 202 and 96 assists as well during his Lynchburg tenure. He has been unbelievable with 2 hat tricks already, and him accompanied with his supporting staff. They have been an offense red hot and not showing any signs of slowing down. But Denison proves a difficult test today behind the keeper, Andrew Albert. A preseason All-American honorable mention, a guy that has received a whole lot of accolades and awards during his 3 years with the Big Red. And in his senior season, he has been unstoppable, allowing less than 10 goals per contest with a save percentage just a tick beneath 60%. He's been a big reason this team has been so successful this season. With that, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the Lynchburg Hornets, Eric Allen between the pipes for Lynchburg in his first season as a starter, coming off a really strong game against Salisbury. That defensive group of Kyler Mahoney, Thaddeus Highland, and Liam Haley. Then the midfield first group of Liam Holman, Cole Aprandy, and Cam Ash. That attackman group rounded out with Hastings, Vandenberg, and Rubley. Now we'll take a look at what Denison brings to the table and their starting 10. Between the pipes, the man we highlighted, and Andrew Albert. Then you've got the close D group of Pellegrino, Hyatt, Holder. And you go down to the midfield with Jack Moldering, Michael Cassidy, and Brady Monterio. And along with Jonah Frank, the trio of attackmen in Kevin Burrich, Mackie Peck, and Race Maurer. Stage is set for a good one today. This the 9th meeting all-time between the two programs since 2005. Lynchburg has won the last 4, including a 15-9 victory last year in Granville, Ohio. It was one of those games where former Hornet Jake Rust really erupted at the beginning for Lynchburg. He finished with 6 goals. He's been one of those guys that has stepped away from the program, and in his place has just been a host of prolific scores for Lynchburg this season. It's something where they've added so many guys to this production team where the ball movement has really found another gear, and that's been a great reason for the offensive success. A whole lot of these guys just have newfound confidence, one of which Cole Aprandy swings over for Liam Haley, top of the box, rolls down, shot wide, chased down by Hastings. Hastings coming off a hat trick against the Seagulls in Salisbury. Lynchburg handed Salisbury their first regular season loss since 2023, that one against Gettysburg. This one goes across to Rubley. The pass to Haley can't be handled cleanly. Able to scoop it up with 20 on the shot clock. An S-dodge from Haley, getting inside and putting it through. Liam Haley puts Lynchburg on the board 1-0 in the first minute of action. Holman's ability to get his hands free and create space, what makes him such a dynamic midfielder for this Lynchburg team. He's the sole guy that came back from that first line of middies a season ago, made a huge leap from his freshman to sophomore season, and now in his junior campaign, picking up right where he left off. Face-off won by Frankel. He's someone that's expected to be one of the top guys on this team this year. Had an unbelievable campaign last season. Came in with preseason All-American nominations. Has gotten a whole lot of respect on the national stage, and with the clip that he wins his face-offs at, it should come as no surprise. Make it take it for the Hornets as Hall goes down the left alley. Swung around to the attackman, Rubley. The nation's leader in shot percentage. Corkscrews his way through 3 defenders, but has it jarred free. A caused turnover by the LSM and Freeman. Now Denison gets their first chance to clear. Albert wants to go down the right sideline. Physical play. A streaking long pole comes away with it, and a nice feed from the 6'3 junior out of Devon, Pennsylvania, and Marshall. Now the Big Red can get set up in their 6-on-6 for the first time today. The senior Brookman matched up with Michael Cassidy. Sweeping across the top of the box. Now they'll spin it back the other way. 20 on the ticker. Cassidy wants to go. Gets to his left. Underneath to X. Cassidy, split dodge, left-hand shot, poked free, rebound still loose. And they'll call it Lynchburg ball. First stop of the day for Ben Feintuck and company, the defensive coordinator for this Lynchburg group. Got the chance yesterday to sit down with Allen, Brookman, and Highland, a trio of defenders for Lynchburg, going from goalie to close to short midfield, as there's one on the crease. And this time it's an assist coming from Holman, finding Vandenberg right on the doorstep. 2 up, 2 down, bingo, bongo in the first 3.5 minutes. Parker Seeley gets into the mix. Can't come away with it. The LSM and Freeman scoops up the Pearl off the carpet. Having Parker Seeley back has been a big addition for this Lynchburg squad. Sidelined due to injury in the first pair of contests, made his way back and had a big-time impact in Lynchburg's most recent affair. Here's the sub-game. Cassidy across the timeline. Good help defense by the Hornets. Jonah Frank surveying. Frank got a beat on the crease. Shot offline. Solid look right there from Mackey Pack. Just couldn't find the back netting. Shot clock rolls to 30. Cassidy trying to go right through the chest of Seeley. Long shot, and it's on the mark. Graham Mitchner put it upstairs, and the Denison Big Red cut the deficit in half. Take another look at that laser coming out the lefty stick. Third win on 4 tries for Frankel. He'll get it inside the box and head to the sideline. It's been a strong offensive performance from Lynchburg thus far. 2 goals on 3 shots. Up top, Hastings, extra pass. Vandenberg off the pipe and out. Albert with the recovery. Outlet to Pellegrino. Ball got knocked loose momentarily, but stuck with it. Seeley matched up with Gillard. Got a step. Help comes. Extra pass. Poked across. Highland's the one that got his stick on it. Big Red able to recover. Down the right alley. Roll back. Extra pass. The shot. Saved by Allen. Quick feed for Seeley. On his horse. Waved off a ward called on Seeley as he tried to use that extension from his left arm to create a little bit of space. The officials will flip the field and make a Big Red resume play from the near sideline. Pellegrino uncontested. Nice feed on a line to Jonah Frank. Mollering. Near side Cassidy. They've been feeding him early and often today. Montorio carving his way through traffic and finds the equalizer. If you like offense, you're in the right spot. 2 goals for each squad. There's the first one of the day for the midfielder out of Massachusetts. Each side of the field today feels like it has a really big story to it because you've got a Lynchburg offense and a Denison defense that have proven that they could be one of the best units in the country this season. You've got an offense that's led by Rubley right now, who's one of the nation's leaders in scoring after putting up 9 goals on 9 shots against Pfeiffer. Meanwhile, you've got his defense really led by Albert between the pipes, a vocal leader for this group in his senior season. When you're letting up less than 10 goals a game, that's something that is going to grab a whole lot of national attention. But on this side of the field, I mean, it really feels like that can be a whole other element of this team. You have a defensive group for Lynchburg that made really a big statement in their last game against Salisbury, keeping that offense at bay. But they're still trying to prove a whole lot. I mean, these are a lot of guys that are stepping into starting roles for the first time this season. And on the other end, for Denison, obviously those numbers are going to look a whole lot better from what they've done this season after scoring 23 goals against Adrian. But if you look at what they did against W&L and RIT, you had 7 goals and 13 goals in those 2 games. And when you're playing those kind of teams, you feel like obviously you're going against a strong defensive group, especially with Washington and Lee, but you would like to see your offense really start to find that rhythm this season. And it is a team that loses a fair amount of production from a season ago, but they've also got a great, solid group of returners that are impact players for this team and can certainly rise to the occasion. On the offensive end for Denison this year, Mackie Peck has had an unbelievable start to the year with 13 goals. He scored 13 of the team's 67 thus far. You've also got guys like Jonah Frank, Jack Mollering, Brady Montereau, who just scored that last goal. How about the outlet feed right there? A one-handed grab right in the breadbasket. Couldn't draw it up any cleaner than that as Denison able to flip the field in a matter of seconds. But in a lot of ways, it feels like there are 2 different games going on each side of the field, which isn't something that you get every game. Obviously, you get that sense that that's just the nature of the sport, but more times than not, it's not going to be what you see. And right now, the Denison offense is making a statement here on Schellenberger Field. 3 goals through the opening 10 minutes of action. And this defense, starstruck right now. Mollering gets his second of the day, back-to-back for 39 in red. He's up to 9 goals this season, a total of 15 points as well. And he went scoreless in their first 2 games. So what he's really been able to do in the last 4 contests is extremely impressive. He did have 1 assist against RIT in the season opener, but the production that he's really started to add, we could see this sophomore make a really great case to be a first-team all-conference selection and potentially even a selection at the national stage, just what he's been doing against these ranked opponents this far. Granted, still early today, but he's got 2 of the first 3. Cassidy, right down Main Street. Passes out wide. They'll backpedal and regroup. Working against the shorty. Greasing the pipes. Brookman gets sandwiched. Ball's still free. And a clean pickup on the GB. And who else but Monterio? Those are the little things that might not stand out as much on a stat sheet. You might look at this first quarter and see 2 goals, 1 ground ball. I think that one of those 2 goals might be one of the bigger plays, but that ground ball shows a whole lot of hustle. Outlet pass for Meadows. Over for Hastings. Doesn't like his options. He'll pull it out and regroup. 9 shots for Denison, 5 for the Hornets. Brandy. Over for Holman. He's had the hot hand today. Brandy against the long pole, getting harassed. Wants to get rid of it. Over for Cam Ash, the Richmond product. Ash. Up top, Hastings. Now Vandenberg working against his shorty. Trying to get to his strong hand. Lets it fire. Saved by the keeper. The rebound right there from O'Prandy. And we're leveled once again at 3 apiece. Cole O'Prandy right on the rebound. Right place, right time for the junior midfielder. Cole's someone who's really started to make a big leap this season in terms of production. That's his 5th goal this season. Already has 2 multi-goal performances to his name, and he's someone that said, coming into this year, second-guessing himself was really his greatest weakness when he was out there on the turf. And has said that he just has this new level of confidence this season as Lynchburg looking to attack in transition. Hastings, bottom right. Don't blink, you might miss it. 2 goals for the Hornets in under 60 seconds. That goal puts Hastings at 9th all-time for total scoring in Lynchburg history. 1 point away from tying 8th. Mason lost the pearl. Ball still free. Mason got it off the deck but couldn't keep it in play. Mason, someone that transitioned from playing offensive midi to defensive midi this season. Him and a whole lot of other guys playing out of spots where a whole lot of guys playing in different spots this season than a year ago. And which so great that you might not see every time, but this group has really embraced that, where guys are watching film and really loving new roles where they just want to be on the field. And that's been the overall message from a lot of these guys where it's, I don't really care what I do as long as I'm helping us towards our team goal. You're not seeing a whole lot of guys with personal aspirations this year. Obviously, everyone wants to play their best and do what's best for the team rather than say, I'm going to go out there and get my own. And that kind of unselfish play on the offensive end and defensive end as well, when you see a guy that was on the second team of middies a year ago say, you know what, I think I can have a bigger impact on the defensive end. And Brody, along with a company of guys, has really stepped up to the plate this season in that regard. Roll back from Holman. Plays it up top for Ash. Holman getting to his strong hand. Underneath to Hastings. 8 on the shot clock. O'Prandy, double team comes, gets it away. Ball still loose. Picked up by, oh no, still free, and the timer expires. Through the opening quarter, 7 combined goals, and it's the Hornets heading into the second, leading by 1.
Every great idea begins with a sketch, a doodle on a napkin, a quiet spark of change before the world even knows it's listening. Sometimes with fate, sometimes with fire, sometimes with nothing but each other and a box of cheap pizza, but always, always chasing something greater. Some of us climbed out of concrete, others were replanted in better soil, but a seed isn't a legacy until it bears fruit. And this is an orchard built from service, sweat, and self-discovery. You see, back in 1903, a group of first-generation minds gathered not just to learn, but to rewrite the script entirely. They didn't just attend college, they built one. From the red clay of Virginia, they laid bricks of boldness and mortar made from mission. Here in Lynchburg, the caged birds don't just sing, they soar. Because at Lynchburg, they were finally seen. You walk the same path that Nobel Peace Prize winners, marathon trailblazers, delegates, senators, artists, those who turn glass ceilings into floors and dared to dance on top of them. These halls don't whisper history. They howl it. A trademark of this place is self-expression. Not forced, not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice, unapologetically, authentically. Because to be a Hornet is to think differently, is to think independently, to challenge curiosity, to question with care today. Right now, the hive is alive. Classrooms buzz with conversation, and Dale hums with energy. Ideas collide in labs and lounges, and friendships are forged on fields of green that stretch canvas. This ain't just a campus, it's a collective, a rhythm, a community of thinkers, dreamers, doers. Each of us unique, but all of us moving in sync, one hive.
And we welcome you back into the Hill City. A 4-3 affair through the opening 15 minutes of play. It's been a game of runs. Lynchburg grabbed, big hit from the back. Meadows got pile drive, flag loose. Sealy looking to attack with numbers. Now he'll slow it down. Meadows with possession over for Sealy, and they'll bring on the first line of middies and try and capitalize on what is a free possession now for Lynchburg. Holman with a split, the roll, the shot. Went high, and Lynchburg will go in their man-up offense. Now, this is a really interesting element of today's game. This Denison defense has been unbelievable on man down. 17th in the nation at 90%. Meanwhile, on the other end for Lynchburg, they've had a strong offensive man-up situation this year, scoring at a 50% clip, good for top 20 in the nation. Talked about it time and time again through that opening quarter. Elite offense, elite defense on this side of the field today. Rubley up for Hastings, over for Holman, uncorks a laser of a sidearm, rolls wide. 9 seconds remaining on the penalty. Vandenberg across, Holman, stutter step. Over for Rubley, behind his back. Vandenberg on the doorstep. He's stopped by Albert. That's a big reason why this Denison defense has been so great in man-down situations this year, as Vandenberg is tabbed for the whistle against his contest against Charlie Hyatt. And now we'll flip it. Take another look at that collision between those two right above GLE. So now to give you a perspective on how the flip side of the field is, it's a man-up offense for Denison that has been extraordinarily strong. Third best in the nation at a 77% successful clip rate. Meanwhile, man-down defense for Lynchburg, 70%. And the Denison Big Red do what they've been doing all year long, capitalizing with an extra man on the field. It's the Canadian, Zach Warren, putting one up north. And just like that, we're knotted once again, 4-4. Mollering with the assist, his third point today. Franco with yet another face-off victory. Holman caught from behind. Ash swoops in and gooses it. And Denison's going to be awarded possession. This game about as even as you could ask for. 4 goals apiece, 11 shots for each respective side, 3 saves for each keeper. Right now, Denison winning the turnover margin 3-6. Cassidy passes near side. Mahoney smothering. Worked around to X. Near side. Shook his man free. The bouncer on target. Denison back out in front, 5-4. This Denison offense came to play today. 5 goals through 18 minutes. And they're not doing anything out of this world. Use the mouse. And just stay with the mouse. Keep trying to press it and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then just keep using the mouse. The only issue is it's going to do the transition every time. But this has happened before. So, I mean, just look. Yeah, you're good. Hastings wants to go ISO. Rolls back to his right. Looking down at GLE and off target for Vandenberg. Those two can't connect, and it's the 7th Lynchburg turnover of the afternoon. Denison's been perfect on the clears today. Until now. Meadows, the local product, with the ground ball back to his keeper. Highland, quick feed. Across midfield, and Lynchburg will get set up. Holman. Got the switch onto a long pole. Aprandy over for Ash. Double team comes. Feed over for Holman. Reverses Aprandy. Got his man. Double came. Jarred it loose. Hastings posting up his defender across the crease and punched in. It's Rubley. The Hornets' leader in goals this season finds his first one of the day to level us at 5 once again. That's his 13th goal this season. And get this, on his 15th shot. That is an unbelievable clip from the sophomore attackman. Rubley came into the day as one of the nation's leaders for shot percentage, and that just only continues to climb. Shooting at nearly a 90% clip. Uncanny. Ash down the left alley. Played back to O'Prandy. Sees daylight. Sidearm shot runs wide. Backed up by Hastings. Holman wants to go. Shut off by the long pole. This group of poles has done a great job containing Lynchburg today. They've been fantastic in help defense, solid rotations, especially from that weak side. Under 10. Holman's got to put something up. Spinning through the lane behind his back. Off the mark, couldn't find anything, and Lynchburg will just shoot this one to the corner and get their defensive subs on. Five as we approach the midway mark of the second frame. Hyatt. A floater towards midfield that's corralled by Frank. Frank, one of those impact first years for the Denison Big Red. The Naperville, Illinois product. So great to see all the different locations across the Midwest that Denison's able to represent. Lacrosse, such a blossoming sport. And you're seeing Chicago as one of those hubs in the Midwest where a whole lot of talent is starting to come out of. Obviously, Naperville, not necessarily Chicago. It's about an hour and a half ballpark outside of Chicago. But the age-old joke for everybody that's in that region area of the surrounding Chicagoland part of the world is people saying they're from Chicago and them actually being from Naperville. So I've got some respect for him that he's got Naperville on the roster and not Chicago. Now here is Frank. Working against Mahoney. Played it back. What a stop right there from Eric Allen. Looked like that one tipped off his shoelaces. Now Parker Seeley on his horse like equestrian. He'll slow down the tempo, feet on the crease. Meadows couldn't put it on. Now they're going to bring Brody and Meadows off. They're going to keep Seeley on for the moment. Parker Seeley, a guy that was recruited to come to Lynchburg as an offensive player. Now they're going to send him to this sideline. Menchaca. Or pardon me. That was Caden Hinchy. 32 rather than 22. Vandenberg curling around the crease. Bouncer runs wide. Tracked down by the Hornets. They'll maintain possession. Shot clock split down the middle. Vandenberg got his man, got the goal. That's his second of the day. Vandenberg, a guy that comes to this Lynchburg program with a box lacrosse history And that's been a big story around him, just the accuracy that he brings to the table at that attack position, something that's so unique. And obviously, you'd want your attackman to be as accurate as possible, but when you're operating in those narrow windows in box lacrosse, I mean, it is like night and day what you see. I mean, it must feel like you've got a mini net turned into a big net. It's hard to explain how different that feel really is, and his teammates have really praised his ability to really improve his offhand this past offseason. They feel like he's a new kind of ambidextrous when he comes to the turf this season. So far, the numbers really do reflect that for Vandenberg. Up top, Hastings. Nice save. Sent all the way towards midfield. Highland able to keep it from going across midfield. Rubley to his left, spinning back to his right. Double team comes. Underneath to X. Vandenberg gives it right back to him. Now they're working around to the far side. Quick ball movement from the Hornets. Now they'll settle at X and set up their play. Hastings, step down. Stopped by the keeper once more. A strong day between the pipes for Andrew Albert. Pass offline, disrupted by the physical defense. Can't keep it in play. Nice hustle there from Highland. Daddio Highland, a guy that strained his hamstring twice in the fall of 24. Felt like he somewhat missed an opportunity to compete for a starting spot, but he was really grateful for that last year experience that he got, and saying that the guys ahead of him that did earn that starting spot last year really paved the way for him. I mean, he is someone that has really high expectations for himself. As Cam Ash buries one in the bottom left. Cam Ash buries his fourth goal this season. And a big statement in the Lynchburg opener against St. Mary's with a pair of goals. Finds his first one of this contest here late in the second quarter. Lynchburg's really started to pull away in terms of that shot disparity, now winning that battle 21-14. Denison will try and put another one on the board on this possession. They started the day perfect in the clears. That ride from Lynchburg has started to give them a little bit more trouble as this game's gone on, and another turnover for Denison. Sealy brings it across with ease, weaving his way through traffic. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the opening half. Lynchburg looking to add to their lead. Prandy to his left. Help comes. And another save from Albert as he tried to go 5-hole. Another rebound. Prandy somehow gets it back. And the shot clock reset. And the officials are Going to try and bring it back down to around 60 or 55. I think they'll settle with 60. And a timeout taken by the Hornets. Lynchburg ball with 2:45 remaining, 60 on the ticker when we come back.
One heart, one home. See, in this hive, everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is a part of the swarm. We are engineers of empathy, architects of tomorrow, and storytellers of today. We're not waiting to change the world. We already doing it. Ask any Hornet, past or present. They'll tell you the truth. This place, undeniably home. Because it's undeniably you.
It's in our DNA. Making a difference, being real, innovative, and strong wherever you are. Creating change. You believe the world can be better. We all can be better. And here is where we start making it happen. Fostering belonging. No matter who you are, here, you're home. Achieving excellence. From the classroom to the court, we don't settle. Neither should you. Lynchburg. It's in our DNA. Today, tomorrow, always.
A trademark of this place is self-expression, not forced.
And we welcome you back into the Hill City on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. It's the Hornets out in front of the Big Reds, 7-5 after a Denison timeout. Just about 2.5 remaining. Holman sweeping to his left. Wants to dive inside. He'll flip it over and underneath to X. Vandenberg inside of Prandy, but a great trail check by the LSM to jar it loose. Another cause turnover for this Denison defense. Power move from Drew Merschel to get it across midfield. Denison will slow the tempo. 2 minutes on the game clock, a minute on the shot clock. Cassidy against Casey. Works him around. Had the open look, just couldn't put it on target, but kept alive. Frank over for Minchner. Or pardon me, rather, Mollering. At 1-7, looking eerily similar on these Denison jerseys. Frank off target. They're going to reset that shot clock, so a fresh 60 with 1:14 on the game clock. Mollering. Hot start to today's game. Chunked out by Meadows. Great physical defensive play from a long stick midi. Bouncer from Cassidy offline. Rolls out of play with 37 on the shot clock. And another timeout call. We'll step aside and take a breather. Under a minute to go here in the Hill City.
Not filtered, not a facade. We don't shape students into copies. We help you find your own voice.
This is awesome. Like, not just for your career benefit, but also personal benefit. I mean, you can learn how to invest your own money. and you can learn how to do it here.
They get the hands-on experience, direct interaction with brokers, and they are learning all the different classifications of investing firsthand.
Kind of regardless of your background or skill set, there's a place for you, and you're going to want to make some money.
.6 remaining on the game clock here in the opening half. 7-5, Lynchburg out in front. It's been a fun back-and-forth ball game today. Neither team has been able to really pull away and create a whole lot of separation. Both teams within striking distance of one another all throughout the contest. Denison might be holding on to this one, trying to get the last shot of the first half. Gillard inside, bouncer over the stick of Allen and through. It's the Minneapolis product. Early movement and a Lynchburg victory. They'll have time to put together one solid offensive possession. Whistle blows it dead. Timeout, Kudelka and company. We'll keep it here with 21 and a half to go. 6-7, Lynchburg in front. The Hornets have assisted on 3 of their goals today, just 1 for Denison. It's been a whole lot of dodge and go for the Big Red. And they've been able to shake free a handful of times. Now, 1 assist came on an EMO for Denison, 1 for 1 on the day, while the Hornets 0 for 1. It's been relatively clean for both sides, not a whole lot of turnovers. Denison winning that battle by 3. But the faceoffs has been all Lynchburg today. They've won 67% of the faceoffs at the dot. Nevertheless, losing that turnover margin oftentimes can erase that victory at that spot. Nevertheless, holding on to a 1-goal advantage as we approach what feels to be the final possession of the opening half. Everybody's getting their money's worth today. 2 teams in the national poll. Denison worked into the receiving votes column after starting the year in the top 20. Here's Cam Ash. Hidden ball trick. Vandenberg on the doorstep, couldn't put it in. 6.7 on the game clock. Hastings has got to move quick. Works inside, double team comes, got it across to Holman, and the shovel runs high. A nice drawn up play from Kudelka and company, but it ends up with nothing. Hornets head to the locker room with a 1-goal advantage over the Denison Big Red as they try and come into town and steal a signature win. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming your way on FloSports when we get back from Schellenberger Field. And we welcome you back into the Hill City. High-flying offenses in action through the first 30 minutes of play. Denison got 3 in the first quarter. Lynchburg had 4. Then each team notched 3 apiece in the second frame. Mollering leading the way for the Big Red with 2 goals and an assist to his name. Vandenberg, the leading goal scorer for Lynchburg, the only Hornet with multiple so far today. They've got 6 different goal scorers for Lynchburg. They found different ways to attack all day long. With that, we'll take a look at some of the numbers through the first half of action. Good ball movement from Lynchburg with 3 assists to their name, winning the ground ball battle, winning the faceoffs with the saves and turnover margin in favor of the Big Red. And right now, those 2 elements have been the biggest factors in keeping Denison around here in the first half. When you've got a keeper between the pipes like Andrew Albert, you're going to be in almost any game you play in throughout the season. And with what this offense has done through the first 30 minutes, has kept them in action. They have been dodge and go throughout the day, really going after these Lynchburg shorties. The long poles have done a good job in rotation and sealing off that attack line, but right now it's a whole lot of shake and bake coming from the midfield group. Here's Ash on the offensive end for the Hornets. He'll go near side for Rubley. Guarded by Pellegrino, gets the inside angle and puts it through. Make that 14 goals on 16 shots this year. He's playing out of his mind. Will Rubley did not score in the first game this year. Since then, 9 goals, 3 goals, 2 today. He is such a great kid and an even better lacrosse player. Hastings. A little bit of a toe drag to keep it alive. He wants to go underneath. The attack line for Lynchburg has been explosive today, to say the least. Extra pass on the doorstep. The bouncer stopped. That's why he's a preseason All-American. That's what he's been doing the last handful of years for the Big Red, but he has found a new gear this season. That's the second goal or shot that you would assume is just a gimme. Right there, it's mano-y-mano, no more than 3 yards apart from each other, and he's been winning those battles. Cassidy across the formation. Now the freshman wants to go. Frank, chunked out by Hinchy. Mollering lost his footing. Gobbled up by the turf monster. Oh my goodness! And the top shelf, it's the 3rd goal of the day from Montero. Or pardon me, 2nd goal from Brady Montero. He has been extraordinary. Him and Mollering really leading that offensive charge today. Deposited that goal right where Mom keeps the cookies. 8-7. Lynchburg with possession after another face-off win from Frankel. 13 of 18 today. O'Prady. Ashford Holman rejects the screen, goes right on the crease, tipped away at the last second by Owen Holder. Holder, one of those guys that came out of really a lacrosse hub of Towson, Maryland. Obviously, you got Johns Hopkins in the relative area, but Towson itself a premier lacrosse program. And Boys Latin, the home of the likes of Grant Voigt, who was a fifth-year dynamic midfielder for Lynchburg. Also the high school of our very own SID at the University of Lynchburg, Eli Schilling. I was going through the preparation. I gave him a ring. I said, Owen Holder. And any name reminds you of anything? He said, that kid's a stud. And today the Poles of Denison have lived up to the hype. But this Lynchburg attack line might be one of the best in Division III this season. And what's so scary about this Lynchburg attack line is they're still waiting for a returner from last year to come back from injury. You've got Finn Schmidt, who's been sidelined through the first couple of games, as this one's taken away. Out in transition, it's Menchaca. You've got Finn Schmidt waiting to come back, and it'll be really interesting to see how that shakes things up, because the guy that has filled that spot has been Rubley, who is the leading goal scorer by a wide margin this season. Roth across the key. Oh, my goodness. Vandenberg had it right in front of him. Took his eye off the pearl. That'll be really interesting to see what happens to this Lynchburg attack line, because it's going to be tough to really try and shake things up. But you've got a dominant left-hander in Finn Schmidt just waiting to come back, and he should be back for the Mustang Classic next week, where Lynchburg will square off against two of the nation's bests in CNU and Stevenson, or Gettysburg, rather. I beg your pardon. Far side, Frank, guarded by Haley. Cassidy bringing it all the way up to the Lynchburg script. Trying to get to his left. Frank once again, top of the box, down the right alley. Swings it back, passes offline. Underneath, hit the side netting. Scooped up by Seeley. Flag flies. This one will go against Denison. Another free possession for Lynchburg before an EMO. Ash with a handoff for Holman. Good rotation by the Denison defense. Help comes from the crease. Hastings got a step, unloads, offline. And for the second time today, Lynchburg will go man up. You've got this sense that Lynchburg is bound to capitalize on one of these opportunities sooner rather than later. Nice hustle. Vandenberg with the rock. Holman, top shelf. Oh my goodness. What Liam Holman just did is illegal in 6 neighboring counties. But in the Hill City, that's all 2 and white. Holman greasing the pipes. Oh my goodness. The Hornets capitalize on their second EMO of the day. Here comes Hastings once more. Put that one down low in the sock drawer. Hastings, Holman, Vandenberg all got a pair. The assist coming from Frankel off the face-off win. And when you win 4 in a row to start the second half, you just feel like he's bound to get out in transition at some point. Right on cue, Denison with a face-off win. Awesome early movement. 10-7, Lynchburg's largest lead of the day. Cassidy working against Brookman. Brought him to the turf. Double team comes. Cassidy trying to get loose. To GLE and underneath to X. Right back up to the near side. $1 million move, but a 5-cent finish. As Monterio shook his defender off of him and had a whole lot of space to operate, but the sidearm about 2 feet wide to the left. On the front of the crease and through. That one looked like a busted coverage from the Lynchburg defense. That's the easiest one you're going to see in the afternoon. Maddie Peck, the senior out of Naples, Florida. Eight to 10. Early movement on Frankel. Or no, pardon me, Frankel on the sideline. This time around, it's Rocco Egan at the center dot. Back-to-back wins for Denison. They were able to capitalize on their last offensive set. After the Hornets rattled off back-to-back goals in a matter of seconds. Denison trying to strike right back and claw their way back into it. It's been a game of punch, counter-punch. A boxing match between 2 heavyweights in the national landscape. Frank down at GLE, guarded by Mahoney. He'll go up top, near side box. They'll flip the field. Hardy working on a shorty. 15 on the shot clock. Hardy taking him around the crease. Near side, top of the box. Through traffic. 5 on the shot clock. Got to unload. And the ball got poked free by Meadows. What a defensive stand from the Hornets. They went a full 80 seconds all over them like bark on a tree. Allen, quick feed. Mason went over and back. They got 3 on 5 right now. And a quick substitution. Lynchburg's Chris DeBellis running the box. Just about 4.5 to go here in the third quarter. Mollering. Frank had it knocked loose. Scooped up off the carpet. Flag comes out. And it'll be a whistle against the Hornets. So after Lynchburg capitalized on their second EMO of the afternoon, Denison will try and do the same. Once again, this is a Denison offense that's scoring around an 80% rate on their extra man. They already got their first one today. "60-second penalty. It's Mahoney in the penalty box for Lynchburg. So that brings on the freshman long pole and Jake Morales. GLE. Allen didn't get a piece of that one. Shot clock stays at 42. 38 seconds remaining on the penalty. Center of the box, far side, step down on the money. This team is electric when they got an extra man on. And right now, that Denison sideline is wired. That's the little bit of juice they needed. After Lynchburg claimed their largest lead of the day, it evaporates to a 1-point advantage. Penalty wiped away. Mahoney released. Face-off won by Frankel. Ash in fifth gear. The bounce shot into the chest of Albert. An early shot for Lynchburg into the shot clock. Brookman on the deck after the errant pass. And they couldn't get it across in time. Mahoney, the long pull, onto the offensive side of the field. And he'll retreat and head back to the timeline. Cam Ash will take his place. Now this time, Lynchburg might look to go a little bit deeper in the shot clock. 2:45 to go in the third quarter. Hastings matched up with a short stick. Great weak side help coming from Denison. Far side of Prandy. Goes underneath for Hastings. Looking for the wraparound with one hand. Well short. A diving effort from Brandy to maintain possession. 25 on the ticker. Brandy. Second man comes and knocks it loose. That's the boys' Latin product of Owen Holder. Lynchburg has started to give Denison a little bit more trouble as the game has progressed. There's a truck stick, but you still got to get it across with 2 seconds to spare. Heaves it over for the freshman Frank. That's a big swing for Denison. 50 on the shot clock. A minute and a half remaining in the third. We're leveled once again, 3-3 in the third quarter. It'll be Mollering. Far side GLE Frank. Feeds Gillard. Back over for Frank. Ball got poked loose, but picked up by Mollering. 10 on the shot clock. Pass couldn't be handled cleanly. A fight for it. Still loose, and the shot clock expires. .34 seconds to go. Colby Hogg in a foot race. Now Hastings got tied up, got loose, had his twig taken away from him. And the game clock expires in the third quarter. Right now, the difference maker is a 4-3 advantage for Lynchburg in the first frame. Since then, 3-3 for each squad through 2 consecutive 15-minute quarters. We got 15 more on deck. Fourth quarter coming your way on FloSports.
Your calling is beyond the classroom, far beyond. This is where you feel at home, where you feel connected. And this is the place where you'll answer that call. Here, you'll learn to lead the way in the industry you love, so your calling and connection become your profession. The Equestrian Sport Management major at the University of Lynchburg. Accepting applications now.
See, in this hive, everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is a part of the swarm. We are engineers of empathy, architects of tomorrow.
And we welcome you back into Central Virginia. In the Hill City on Schellenberger Field, it's the Hornets in the Big Red and a battle of Goliaths. Lynchburg with a 10-9 advantage. 3 Hornets have found the back of the cage twice. Riley Hastings also with a pair of assists to his name. He has moved up to 5th all-time in program history for assists. Meanwhile, he's also notched in at 8th place all-time today for total points during his Lynchburg career. For the Big Red, you've got Mollering with 3 goals today. Monterio also with a pair. This has been everything we anticipated and some. Back and forth throughout the day, no one's really been able to create any separation. Lynchburg's had the largest lead of the day, which was 10-7. Denison got a pair of late goals in the third quarter to wipe away that deficit. Stay well within striking distance. On the doorstep, Cam Ash is stopped by Albert. He has played like a man possessed, stealing goals away like a bandit. On the other end, the bouncer is through, and we're even at 10s. No, they're going to wipe it off. A foot in the crease. What a sequence. A heartbreaker for the Big Red. Now the Hornets will try and extend their advantage. Shot wide right, coming from the freshman Mache Roth. Mache, Emerald Isle, North Carolina product. As Hastings shot off the mark. But he's actually got a Czech background. His mother is Czechoslovakian. And his name is spelled like mate with a J. Oh my goodness, a truck stick on Hastings right outside the crease. Laid down by Holder. Still not out of trouble yet on the clear. Nice little two-man game, working 2-on-1. Denison able to get it across. 13 minutes remaining and 1 goal separates these two squads. Cassidy, GLE, working against Brody. Swings back. Mahoney trying to force Frank down the right alley. He'll go that way. Work back around. Shot runs high. Missed everything with 12 on the shot clock. Monterio will bring it in. Goes underneath. Passes offline. Picked up by the freshman Morales. Running and gunning. Over for Hastings. One more Vandenberg. Missed every piece of that one. That one just soared out of the stick. Nevertheless, backed up. Lynchburg now will get set up in their 6-on-6. Hudson Royer with it now. Stick side high against the keeper that's been a brick wall today. Floats it out in front. Frank will now set the table. Gaylord guarded by Menchaca. Takes him right. What a trail check. Jarred it loose. Ball's free. Picked up by Mahoney. Textbook defense right there on the trail from the short stick midi. And now he's out and running. Over for Hastings. Sweeping to his right. D-twigged. Brilliant defense on both ends. 4-on-3. Uncorked and through. No doubt about this one. Maddie Peck, the senior out of Naples, Florida, brings us to 10s with 10.5 to go. It all started with Freeman on the other end causing the turnover, scooping up the ground ball and picking up the assist. I mean, that's a brilliant sequence from the long pole. That's everything that you ask for out of that position. And Denison, with their 8th face-off win of the day, comes in a big stage. Long pole can't put it on target. Swanson sorted upstairs. Down the left alley. Patient offensive set coming from the Big Red. Denison looking for a signature win this season. Great support. Now you've got Casey matched up. Frank tried to put it in the top left, off the mark. Backed up by Hardy. Hardy against Haley. Dropped it off. The sidearm is through. Denison leads 11-10. Their first lead since 5-4 with 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Big Red in command. They've blanked Lynchburg through this first 6 minutes of the final quarter while putting up 2 of their own. Frankel with a critical win at the dot. Been a great stand from this Denison defense, but you know that Lynchburg's offense isn't going to go out quiet, and he's a big reason why. Rubley, another hat trick this season. Time and time again, he has answered the bell. It is unbelievable what the sophomore is doing this season. 3 goals on 3 shots today. 15 goals on 17 shots this season. Sealy with a nice check. Now it's a scrum. Big Red have numbers. And they take possession. 11-11. Both teams make it a wish. scoring will go to the near side corner, allow the offensive set to simmer. Frank rolling to his right. Double team comes. Beautiful check right there from Meadows. Or Mahoney, rather, pardon me. A whistle goes against Denison. Mahoney wanted to unload it for Sealy across the field, but the whistle held him up. Now Allen will trot forward. Quick feed for Holman that goes over his head, and it's a Lynchburg turnover. After a great defensive stand, Lynchburg's got to do it again. Monturio. Taken underneath by Mason. Got the angle. Couldn't get the goal. Chased out of play, awarded to Denison. Kudelka hollering for a timeout, and they'll grant it. Hornets call time. Their first 11-11. 6:40 to go from Schellenberger Field. And we welcome you back in. 11-11 with just over 6.5 remaining. Cassidy moves it up top. Now Frank wants to go after Mahoney. Down the right alley and underneath GLE. Nice hedge from Sealy on the defensive exchange. Give and go inside. Cassidy had nothing but daylight in front of him. One-on-one with Allen, but couldn't bury it. Quick move. Outside the goal. Denison celebrating on the sideline. It looked to be good. And obviously picked up outside the crease. Seven seconds to get it across. Holman this time able to bring it in. Now he'll wait for his fellow line of middies to get on. Or he'll go. Holman. Felt like he was held. You could see the jersey being tugged on. It came from the far side official. But it is a hold on number 4, A.J. Boxler. Lynchburg 1 for 2 today on their EMO sets. They converted on the last one. All tied up 11 apiece with just about 5 minutes to go. Holman, step down, bar down, he's got it. Holman with another Hattie. Franco with a face-off win. Mahoney gets it across with 3 seconds to spare. Two-man game. Lynchburg in dire need of a defensive stop. Denison trying to level the score. Been a game filled with ties and lead changes back and forth. No one's been able to pull away. Cassidy rolling to his right, hands free, got it through. We're all squared up at 12. Cassidy's had so many opportunities today, a host of good looks. 6 shots, that's the first one he's able to punch through. It has been a tough day for Eric Allen in the crease for Lynchburg. 4 saves, 12 goals allowed. Take the word. Yeah, you got him. Here's Rubley, tangled up, a swim dodge, a spin, caught in a straitjacket, gets free and over for Hastings. Whole lot of room to work, and Hastings with the answer. Lynchburg reclaims the advantage. Back and forth we go. In the first quarter, Lynchburg outscored Denison 4-3. Since then, it's been 3 goals apiece for each respective team. And a 4th one in the 4th. Could potentially be the difference maker. One more for Lynchburg. You feel like you really have a good chance to put a bow on it and seal it away. Denison could potentially force overtime or even come away with a win if you can stack them. Two and a half to go. A 1-goal game. Frank sweeping to his left, harassed by Mahoney. Got it away. They'll take it underneath. Here's Daylight on the wraparound, but a nice lift check from the sophomore Haley. Now they're going after Meadows. He knocks it loose. Placed in the crease for Allen. A big-time hit. Denison wants a whistle. And they're going to get it. Wow! So Lynchburg gives it right back to Denison when they could have just 80 of the 91 seconds remaining. Kadelka furious. Wow, what a sequence. I mean, you had two guys fighting for the ball. Obviously, he doesn't have possession, so it's tough to lay a hit stick like that and have it go unnoticed. But a very late call that wasn't granted until a Denison appeal on the near sideline. Seemed like the hollering from the Denison sideline is what made the Stripes grant the whistle. That's a big call on a big stage. One of those bang plays, and obviously you gotta have eyes on it to see if he had his stick on the ball, but there was clear tussling for it on the crease. Either way, for the most part, and maybe a little too much coming from Haley with the hit, and that ball's in the crease and milliseconds away from being corralled by Allen. Well, we talk so much about trying to find that fourth goal. It's going to be a big one right here for Denison. Neither team out of the woods yet. Mollering. Underneath the decks. Now it's Frank. Mahoney trying to force him to his right. Mollering. The split to his right. The shot is through. Denison answers the bell. 13s with a minute to go. Mollering, the second big red with a hat trick today. A minute to go, anyone's ball game. Frankel the face-off win. Lynchburg will likely call a timeout and draw something up. Or maybe not. They'll let him play. The Hornets will try and walk this one off. "30 seconds. Holman, the maestro. Down the right alley. Trail check knocked it loose. Ball still free. Out of play, Lynchburg ball. 16.1 on the game clock. Ash brings us back into action. Underneath Rubley. Rubley spinning inside, draws a big hit, and it's through! Rubley answers the bell! what could be a walk-off winner. What a game, what a season it's been for the sophomore in 37. Oh my goodness. Everybody in this facility is stunned. And a face-off win for Frankel. The Hornets walk it off at home and start the season 4-0. What a contest. Will Rubley with a game winner for Lynchburg. Another hat trick. And the stellar sophomore. That's all we've got in store for you today. We appreciate you spending time with us here on Schellenberger Field. As much as we'd like to walk you through everything that just happened in the last 60 minutes, we've now got to hustle over for a men's volleyball tri-match. So thank you so much for hanging out with us on this Saturday affair. Lynchburg wins in dramatic fashion, 14-13. The Hornets will now head to the Mustang Classic to face CNU and Gettysburg as one of the top teams in the nation with a handful of nationally ranked victories. Denison still with a chance to grab a signature win as they also head to the Mustang Classic with a matchup against Tufts on the 13th, followed by Dickinson, the Cinderella of last year's NCAA tournament, on Saturday the 14th. Thank you so much. Until next time, have a good one and stay cool.